Hey guys, okay, so I was just surfing YouTube out of boredom really, and I typed predictive programming into the search bar, and I came across this clip that I just gotta share with you guys, because concerning the topic of predictive programming, this is probably one of the most egregious examples that I've ever seen. And so I'm not taking credit for discovering this, and I will link the original video and the channel below, at least that I found it on. But the clip just doesn't seem to be getting very much traction, so I just kind of want to help push it out there. All right, so what we have here is a short clip from a show called Project Runway. And apparently this episode originally aired on April 4th of last year, or 2019. And, well, you just got to see this for yourself. Check this out.
I have one thing to say.
I'm feeling so energized. I'm feeling so satisfied.
Hi, Kovid.
Hello.
Will you tell us about your head-to-toe look?
When I was designing, I just wanted to play around with pattern and kind of break down the monotony of what otherwise plaid could do. So I just started cutting it up. I wanted to create shapes. I wanted to create volume.
What I loved here is the boldness of that print.
As soon as she walked out, I thought, oh, she's sick, but like sick in a good way. It's
Loved Kovid's look.
Loved.
Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you. Do you mind putting your mask back on?
Notice Kovid's detail, this 3D applique.
I mean, it just gets better. It's sick.
Obsessed.
It's sick.
Obsessed.
Brandon said it, but you must be hot. You should probably take the mask off.
Yeah.
Can you breathe in there?
A little bit. A little better like
It's a good look when we want to keep you alive. It's a good look when we want to keep you alive.
Okay, and so to be clear, this show came out an entire year before the arrival of this current pandemic situation that we're all being subjected to. And it centers around a model who is wearing a silly but so-called fashionable costume that happens to include a medical ear loop mask that's identical to those that we are now being mandated to wear. But however this stuff works, what we have here is a man named Kovid who is modeling a ridiculous looking outfit with the absurd inclusion of a matching face mask, and it's being broadcast on national television less than 1 year before all this stuff starts going down. So you tell me, is this just an amazing coincidence, or is there something more going on here? I mean, is this some kind of evidence of foreknowledge or pre-planning? Is it an Illuminati ritual of some kind? Is it subliminal messaging or propaganda? Or maybe it's all of the above, or maybe it's like Shakespeare said, and this whole world is just a stage and all the men and women are merely players. I don't know. But I'm just going to round out this video with a short montage of similar clips of this so-called predictive programming, where these popular works of fiction seem to have predicted this current crisis that we're in with an uncanny accuracy. And then I'll just leave you to figure out if there's anything to it. I got my own opinions about this stuff, but I assume that most of you that'll watch this video have already been down this rabbit hole a few times, so I'll just save my breath. And as you watch through these clips, just ask yourself, how many coincidences does it take before something is no longer a coincidence? Anomalies occur in everything, but when the same anomaly occurs over and over again, then it's no longer anomalous by definition. It starts to seem more intentional or even procedural. So I don't know. Just check it out and you be the judge.
What if I were to tell you that I've been on the run? Chased by a shadowy organization who wanted to kill me, who controlled governments, and whose objective was to sterilize the world. It's all over now.
They're starting again.
As of today, we are making the vaccine, and this will happen at an unprecedented pace.
They're going to do a Nagasaki with a flu virus.
I want you back.
I've come to find you.
Why?
This is not going how I imagined it would.
We need to talk.
You're all going to die.
There'll be no more than 500 million people on this planet.
We've been planning this for 30 years.
Utopia returns this July on 4.
Thank you, Christina. That will be all.
Alana, what are the headlines?
Flooding in Tennessee is expected to continue through the weekend. President Pence plans to visit the affected areas. The Federal Pandemic Agency has released new guidelines for combating the emerging viral outbreak.
Ooh, Alana, a little dark today. How about a joke?
Why did the banker quit his job? He lost interest.
What?
Oh, I needed that. Oh, guess what I heard about Catherine and Robert? They bought another home. Guess where it is?
London?
They wish. It's under the ground.
What do you mean?
It's a bunker. It's like a bomb shelter or something where paranoid people go and live when they think it's the end of the world. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, talk about overreacting. It's a bad flu season. You wash your hands, you don't buy a bunker. Am I right?
What are they, mole people?
Mole people? Benjamin! Oh, you were giving Alana a run for her money. Mole people. This place is an absolute pigsty. Where in the hell is Christina?
Oh, Christina texted she died.
What?
Her daughter, someone texted. You okay?
There's got to be a vaccine.
Pamela, we talked about this. There is no vaccine.
Something fishy's going on, if you ask me. You mean to tell me the President of the United States doesn't have a vaccine? Yeah, right.
And there's the presidential hearse as they head towards Arlington Cemetery. Michael Richard Pence, 46th President of the United States, dead at the age of 61.
You don't have it. And we have taken that virus and embedded it in the vaccine of the Stearns flu. I knew it. I knew it.
He created a panic, and now everybody's begging for the vaccine.
No. Demanding it with all the entitlement of a first world country.
Yes. And now we have exactly what we want. Hundreds of millions of Americans lining up, offering us their arms, and letting us give them our creation.
I'm pretty sure when every vaccinated person starts dying, they'll trace it back to undetectable virus.
Normally at this point of the show, the host would do something fun and spontaneous to show how we're all just ordinary people, like ordering pizza for everyone.
But since we already get food at the Globes, we thought we'd mix it up and try something new. So roll up your sleeves, Hollywood, because you're all getting flu shots! You know you wore a sleeveless gown for a reason.
Hey, shot! Excuse me, ma'am. You're definitely gonna want to get Defoe. Great.
These nurses are all licensed professionals straight from the Rite Aid in Echo Park.
And look, if you're an anti-vaxxer, just put a napkin over your head and we'll skip you.
You're welcome, you guys.
This costs 50 grand, you guys. You're welcome.
Some of the biggest stars in Hollywood are getting ready for Carol Burnett. Next, the Golden Globes on NBC.
I am a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
And I believe in vaccinations.
And I believe in vaccinations.
If you don't vaccinate your kids, it can endanger their lives.
The potential downsides of vaccinations are almost non-existent.
The cumulative scientific and medical communities are in absolute full agreement that there is basically no reason not to vaccinate your kids.
No reason.
Which is why I cannot believe we have to make this PSA.
I thought we settled this in the 50s.
Hey, remember that time you got polio? No, you don't, because your parents got you vaccinated.
I did 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school,
and 3 years of pediatric residency.
I had to go to school for 8 years.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about.
But you people still won't listen.
Now I have to use my only day off to talk to you idiots about vaccines?
I want to finish watching Breaking Bad.
I'm only halfway through the second season.
But instead, I've got to come here
because you listened to some moron who read a forwarded email.
Perfect.
All these people had to set up cameras, lights, sound equipment, so that I could tell you to do something we've been doing for a century. Look at all these people.
This is stupid.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated or lose my number.
Get your kids vaccinated.
One issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly to millions?
Well, when
of
we
people?
have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that, frankly, are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically, he's all set.
That was the amazing epiphany we had. We didn't have to kill to accomplish our goal. We intend to stop human reproduction for 3 generations. The busy, endless global assembly line of babies will grind to a halt.
You're sterilizing people?
Uh-huh. In the first 5 years, we'll start to see major birth rate declines as teenagers vaccinated today hit their childbearing years.
You're controlling the future of human civilization.
Is that what they're calling it? It's a very nice euphemism for a species that has replicated like a contagion across the planet, killing all other species in its wake. A world that really isn't worth fighting for.
You can't just decide people won't have babies because...
I can and I did.
A passport is a pretty straightforward document. And depending on what information pops up on screen when it's scanned, it allows you to travel in and out of various countries. But as the coronavirus pandemic continues, there's discussion surrounding a different kind of document. It's being coined an immunity passport.
Today is the day to get your drug 2 inoculation of the nationwide standardized inoculation program. Please do not fail to receive your inoculation at the facility nearest you. For your own health and safety, you must carry your certificate of inoculation showing proof of participation in the program. Otherwise, your activities will be restricted.
Yes?
Pardon me, ma'am. Have you had your vaccine?
You're clear. Move ahead. Clear. Step up. You're clear. Next. Let's go. No good. Clear. Good. Move on. Just no rush.
Please take my food.
You're gonna have to move back. No good. No good.
What? No.
Whoa. Get your hands off my wife. Get your hands off. No way. Stand down. Lieutenant Robert. Get your hands off. Stand her again. Stand down. Stand down, soldier. Stand down. I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville. I'm ordering you to scan her again. Scan her again.
All right, scan her again.
It's clear. It's clear. Move through.
By executive order, it is now a felony to harbor an infected individual. Please report any suspected infection immediately. Attention, you are required to stay in your home. By executive order, it is now a felony to harbor...
A military curfew is now in effect. Return to your homes immediately. Anyone found on the streets after 1900 hours or 7 o'clock p.m. will be arrested and confined. Return to your homes. You will be...
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner.
This is the same fellow who told you that, don't worry, we're going to end this by the summer. We're about to go into a dark winter, and he has no clear plan, and there's no prospect that there's going to be a vaccine available for the majority of the American people before the middle of next year.
In 2001, a real-world exercise tested the emergency response to a bioterror attack on the continental United States. The operation was called Dark Winter. Within just a few days, the simulation spiraled out of control. The operation predicted a rapid breakdown in essential institutions, civil disorder, and massive civilian casualties. Dark Winter has revealed how vulnerable we've become. Our lifestyle, our security, our safety depends on a delicate and unstable economy. We've created a system so complicated that we no longer understand how to control it. Oil, power, shipping, transport. We live in a complex world. And the more complex it gets, the more fragile it becomes. The system is built on a global supply chain that gets things where they're needed, just in time. We've created a house of cards. Remove just one, and everything falls apart. And what's fueling this system?
Money. Americans can spend $90 billion in a single day of shopping. Last year, 200 million people swarmed their local stores on November 23rd. We call that day Black Friday. Did you know that a flu virus can survive on the surface of a banknote for up to 17 days? One day, there will be a pandemic. It could begin during the crush of Black Friday sales. A pathogen will jump from tainted banknotes to human skin, onto food, toys, children, and loved ones. By the time patient zero feels the first sore throat, millions of people will already be infected. From this point, the breakdown will happen fast.
Day 1, hospitals will reach capacity. Panic will strike. Day 2, quarantine zones will be established. Resources will be rationed. Transport will go into lockdown. Day 3, international trade will stop. The oil will dry up. The stock market will collapse. Day 4, the power will fail. The shelves will be empty. The taps will run dry. And once hunger and despair take hold, people will do anything for survival. By day 5, everyone will be a potential threat.
In 2007, a new presidential directive was signed quietly into law. This maps out the government's response to a crisis, a plan to cope with a real dark winter. It is known as Directive 51. There are rumors of shadow agencies, sleeper cells, covert agents, but nothing can be confirmed.
Our complex world is primed for breakdown.
And once the chaos strikes,
there won't be resources to save us all.
The only question left is, what will it take to save what remains?
They said it was just the flu. But it turned out to be something else entirely. We followed our orders. Isolate the sick in a quarantine zone in the middle of Manhattan and stop the contagion from spreading. We started to lose count of casualties. We built a wall to contain the sick.
I thought, oh, she's sick, but like sick in a good way. It's
Loved Kovid's look.
Loved.
Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you.